Thank you very much. You know, I was thinking when I was being introduced as having something to do with tax reform, Senator, maybe you could give us some guidance in that.
Leave it alone.
I wish it were that easy. If it were that, but we're going to have a public hearing next week in Paducah. If you'd like to come and tell your colleagues, and that, by the way, is open. We're having a public hearing on the tax structure of the Commonwealth of Kentucky in each of the congressional districts. So we'll be in Paducah for the first congressional district next Tuesday night after work around 6 to 8. So if you're so inclined, you can either come by or you can submit any thoughts that you have other than the one that Senator Ford mentioned, which was leave it alone. Any thoughts that you have to us through our website, which is Lieutenant Governor is ltgovernor@ky.gov. But that's not why you invited me to come visit with you, and I appreciated the invitation. I've got to tell you, as a local elected official for a long time, there's nothing that gets me more excited than being invited to talk with a community that really understands the importance of the issues you're talking about, the kinds of things that exemplify the kind of pride that you have in your home community, not only among yourselves as residents of this community, but the pride and the discipline that you show to others who come to visit you in terms of how important this community is to you and to your families. We didn't have that kind of pride when I first got elected mayor back in '85, and I spent a lot of time listening to citizens throughout the community, asking them about what they wanted for the future of Louisville at that time and now Louisville, Jefferson County. And what I heard time and time again is, you know, we've got to get more private individuals, companies, foundations to understand, number one, that this is a team approach, that government, even back then, simply can't do everything any longer, that we've got to have a public-private partnership that will ultimately make a difference in the outcome for our community. And the second thing that I heard everywhere I went back in '85 was the focus on the most important thing to them was that initial first impression. What do people think when they come into your community? What is the feeling that people have in the community? And how are we going to literally schedule or create an agenda setting the priorities of what we as a community need to be investing in to bring about the kind of hometown that we all want? And that really applies to any community anywhere in the Commonwealth, actually anywhere in the United States. Because what you begin to do, and you all have done it so well, and I was looking at the things that P.R.I.D.E's been involved in, focusing on the waterfront, focusing on the beautification and landscaping, focusing on energizing the public to get engaged. You all have been doing those kinds of things. But that's not the norm in communities around the United States. You're very special in that regard. And to the Hager family, who really stepped up and made the commitment to energize people to get involved in these types of things, you got to tip your hat, because they're right on target and it creates an opportunity to bring about the kind of change that you want. Now, the first thing that I began to do, and I would recommend that you, or actually I'd submit that you probably have already done it from looking at your accomplishments, is to get an assessment of the assets that you have in this community. I mean, the fact is that you are a waterfront community, and you realize that. You did the analysis, you understand that, you've developed the Greenway, you've developed the River Center right on the waterfront. You understood that there were unique opportunities that a river city has that so many other communities would give their eye teeth for. You began to focus as best you could on not only the Greenbelt Park, but also on the overall excellence of the quality of life. You know, when I started in '85 as an elected official, economic development was simply, what are you going to give me, the business owner, what are you going to give me to come to your community to invest and create jobs? And it has changed so significantly since that time. Because now the incentives around the country are basically the same, sometimes a little better for one industry in one state versus another. But the reality is that the issues now, because of technology, give a person the opportunity to live wherever they want and to be able to raise their families and be able to have an investment wherever they want to do it. So the question becomes, what makes your community different? And I would submit to you that two issues are the most important focus, and you all get it. You've been involved in it for years. First and foremost is the quality of life issues. You know, how do you and where do you invest in ensuring that this is as beautiful a community, as welcoming a community, that sends a very clear message as folks visit, that you're open for business and you're rolling out the red carpet to make people feel at home. That's an important aspect. Quality of life now also means bikeways and hiking paths. Quality of life means golf courses and tennis courts. Quality of life means safety. All of those issues that are part and parcel of living in a community like the greater Owensboro area ends up being a strength for the future of this community. And you all have invested your time, your interests, and some of your money to ensure that those kinds of things go forward. And the second and issue that folks are looking at when it comes to time for economic development in the places where they want to invest and create jobs is the education, the workforce, the labor force. Are your people prepared, educated? Are they productive? Are they skilled? And do I, as a business decision maker, have a confidence that although today you've got what I need regarding the employee skills and education, that 5 years and 10 years and 15 years from now, will you have that kind of commitment? And with the colleges that you have here, the community colleges, the universities, both public and private, with the outstanding K through 12 programs that are here within this community, you can turn to folks and be able to carry that message that not only is it a great place to live, because we're investing in the kinds of things that I just spoke about a minute ago, but also at the same time, we understand the importance of education, and we're making the appropriate investment and support for those who need a helping hand to ensure that not only will our K through 12 kids be prepared, productive, and skilled, but there's a community college experience, there's Kentucky Wesleyan, there's Brescia, there's Western Kentucky's campus here. There are opportunities for us to ensure business folks that if they make the decision to be a part of this greater Owensboro area, they're going to have that skilled, productive workforce. Now, how do you set that first impression? I mean, those are the kinds of things that you have been working on and you need to continue to work on because other communities are doing the same thing. And yet you've got that special thing called the waterfront and that special opportunity in terms of a community that works together and understands that there is a better opportunity to work together and get things accomplished than otherwise. What we decided to do was to focus on that first impression. How do you ensure that people that come into your community, first and foremost, get the feeling that you have pride in your hometown and get the feeling that you have the kind of discipline necessary to give that visitor confidence that he or she may want to be a part of the community in the future? So we began to look at our gateways in and out of the community. And it's not just the gateways in and out of the community in terms of expressways. I mean, I flew into Owensboro today. There is a gateway into this community through the airport.